Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Tasha checking in for another review of Love During Lockup. If you have not already done so, please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. I'm trying to reach as many people as I can on these YouTube streets on this channel. We have a good time over here, so go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Please like and comment on the video that I'm about to review for today. All right. Thank y'all for stopping in. I appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all to pieces. Thank you so much. So we're going to get started with this review. And like I said, I'm new to reviewing this show. So if I look down, that means I'm looking at a few notes, but I am going to face you all and talk to you all as well. Okay. All right. So this is Love During Lockup, Season 6, Episode 4, You're the Inmate, okay? And the first couple we're going to start with, and y'all forgive me, my back is itching. My back is itching. Okay, we good. I hate that. I wasn't going to scratch it, but it was driving me crazy. Okay, so the first couple we're going to talk about is Andy and Brittany, okay? So, first of all, Andy's in Georgia, and when the scene opens up, you see, like, tornado I can't even say the word. You know what I'm saying? A downpour of rain. Traditional. Oh my God. Y'all know what I mean. And if y'all don't know what I mean, I'm sorry. So, it was a downpour of rain, basically, when the scene opens up. And I know it to be true because I currently live in Georgia, and we have been having for the past couple of days downpour and tornado type rain. And so he's in the car, it's pouring down, raining. He gets a phone call from Brittany, right? So he's saying to, in his confessionals, he can't believe that 18 months of getting to know a person is down the drain off of him just leaving out some little mishaps. No, sir, you really lied to her about your relationship with your children. However, I do not think Brittany has any room to be judging this man over the relationship that he had with his children, being as though she is in jail herself for drugs and left her own children. So the nerve, right? So Brittany ends up calling him on the phone. And she says, hey, you know, and the way she says, hey, I already knew. I was like, oh, she about to ask for something. She asking for something. So she goes ahead and says, you know, I really don't want you to cancel the visit because that's the only way that my daughter Gracie can come is because you all were linked under the same visit. And so Andy is saying, well, that's all that was important to me is that you see your daughter Gracie. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep the visit as well. So she really only called him because she needed him for something. She needed him to keep the visit so that she could see her daughter. And while she's on the phone, he's just like trying to figure out, is this over? Are we still a thing? You know, can we talk about it and work it out? It sucks to have like 18 months of progress and everything go down the drain just because of something I left out. And she goes and says, we'll talk about it, but you know, you lied, you left out some stuff. She still began to try to go back and read him about being a bad father and all of that. And he's just kind of like, you know, well, we'll talk about it. And then he goes and says, you know, she goes and says, because it's raining so hard, because he tells her it's raining. She said, it's probably raining so hard because that is your karma from being a bad father. And pause right there. First of all, Andy had cut over in his confessionals, and he did say that his daughters were putting 20 on 10. Shout out to Is Rocks. I love you, girl. She always says that. But he was putting 20 on 10, saying that his daughters was saying that he was a bad father. He said, in fact, he was not a bad father, how they portrayed him. And it was not fair that they portrayed him that way because he was there to some extent because look how good they turned out. And I'm going to pause right there too, because just because your children turned out good, sir, does not mean you were a great father and does not mean you were there. I had not so good of a father. He was not there at all. And me and my siblings turned out pretty decent, if I must say so myself, and it all is attributed to my strong, beautiful mom, right? And so just because you feel like, and if you ask my dad, he will tell you too that he probably wasn't a great father, but he would never go off on like Andy did and say that, you know, they're reaching. I was there. Y'all forgive me. I don't know what. I think it's earlier I was wearing this outfit and I think it irritated a part of my back or something. I don't know. But anyway, so Andy is just saying, you know, I was there. I was there to a certain extent. I did not leave them like they said. And I believe it is BS because sometimes from the outside looking in, you may think that you've done a great job. You may think that you were a great parent. You may think that everything was groovy. But your daughters, on the other hand, it's like, no, you were not there. Anytime they said they lived with their grandmother for a year, sir, you were not there, okay? So just be honest and own it, you know? But Brittany still has no right to judge this man because she was not there for her own children because she is incarcerated. So we don't know what's going to happen with them. Really nothing major happened with them. That was really the only thing. She called him because she needed something, and he's going to definitely do what she asked because he wants to figure out if the relationship is still a go. And that's all that they really had going on. To the next couple, Letitia and Keith, child. Letitia and Keith. So Letitia is packing up. This episode opens. She's on her way to go see her husband. She's packing up. She dropped her girls off, and now she's going to go see the husband in jail. And she's, you know, dressing, picking an outfit. She says that they don't allow them to wear anything tight, see-through, the whole nine. They want them to look like a bag lady or a nun, basically. While she's getting ready and packed up, Keith calls on the phone, right? And she tells him about her visit to the lawyer. And she says that, you know, I don't think it's a good idea for you to be mingling with my business because you are a felon. And according to the lawyer, he is saying that you don't need to be attached to anything of mine because it could cause problems. Duh. I mean, you're in accounting dealing with people's money, social security numbers, addresses, birthdays, all types of things. And I ain't saying that Keith gonna come out and try to take these people information and do whatever with it, but you are a felon, sir. And you already know that once you get that stamp of felon behind your name, people are not going to be so easily to give you a job. People are not going to be so forgiving. Even though you paid your debt to society when you get out of jail, people are not still going to be so forgiving. That name, that thing, felon, is always going to be attached to you. So Keith goes off the nerve, right, on the phone. And he says, I don't care about no lawyers. Apparently you don't because you're locked up, okay? And maybe you didn't respect your lawyer and that's why you got the time you got. I don't know. But he said, I don't care about no lawyers. I'm worried about taking care of my family, getting out of here, being active in my family. I don't care what no lawyers have to say. She also tells him about a post-nup that will protect her in the event that something happens. And Keith is like, something like what? What's going to happen? And she was like, you know, protecting the business if we don't work out, blah, blah, blah. He was like, man, I don't want to hear all that. I'm not listening to that. He was acting like he isn't in jail. He ain't do no crime or nothing. And he mad because she brought up these important issues. These are important issues. She has a whole family of daughters that she has to worry about. She has a home business that she has to worry about. And you up here acting like you do not know that you're a felon, sir. You sitting up here getting mad at this lady because she want to protect herself, right? And so, of course, Letitia tries to calm him down and say, okay, let's not talk about it. Forget I brought it up. You know, and I feel like he's going to do that to her. I feel like he's going to have this rage of anger come up. He going to have his attitude and things. And all she going to do is take down so that she can please him, which I think is really crazy. So she's riding to go see Keith, and it looks like a desert. Wherever she's going, it looks like one of those Western movies where one of those tumbleweeds are about to start rolling past any minute now. So she's driving on her way to see Keith, and while she's driving on her way to see him, she already had told us, right, she can't wear no tight see-through clothes. Why does she stop on the side of the road to talk to Aunt Marcia, which is still really weird because Aunt Marcia is her age, and she calls her Aunt Marcia as if they have like a 30-year age gap or something like that. But she stops to check on her children, I guess, because they're with the Aunt Marcia. And she is in tight jeans, high heels, a tight shirt, and then she has this pink long see-through feather looking jacket on or whatever that was. None of that is allowed, right? She already told us, but this is how she's dressed to go see the husband. And I'm just looking like, okay, you're a goofy. Why are you wearing that if you know it's not allowed, right? It's ridiculous. She says that the jail that he's in, check this out, right? The jail that he's in is where they held the Unabomber, El Chapo, and probably other violent offenders. What in the world? So why would they send him to this jail? I mean, I guess you can't control what jail you go to, but that is a pretty violent jail. And the way he was talking to her over the phone has me thinking that he has some type of anger issues when things don't go his way. If I was Letitia, I would definitely go ahead and get the posting up without him knowing. And I would definitely go ahead and be on alert. I would keep something in the house in case this dude get out of control. I wouldn't even move him in my house until he goes to anger management, because that phone call had me feeling like, look, girl, if he don't like something you say, something don't go his way, he gonna end up acting out, and I don't want to see him act out with you and your daughters. So that was really all that happened with them. It wasn't nothing major. She was just gonna go see him and signing in and things like that. And so we'll see next week what happens to them. Nothing really major, but that was it with them. The next couple, I'm gonna skip around, is Savannah and Jake. Oh, Savannah and Jake. Savannah is annoying. I do not care for this chick. I just don't. And I know she is going to be one of the people that annoy me this season of this show. So she went to see a lawyer as well. I don't know what's up with all these chicks going to go see these lawyers for these men. But she went to go see a lawyer as well about resubmitting his commendation or whatever it is, sentence. So that is like a letter. The commendation letter is something that they write to reduce the sentence. So the lawyer said it's more to his story. He's basically saying that he's gotten from the family that when he was in court, he made threats to kill people. When he was also in court, Savannah revealed that he had to be shackled because he was moving around, acting all crazy and all of this stuff, acting a mess in court. And Savannah tried to downplay it and say because he was young. But the lawyer basically told her there's other things to his story. He has heard, I guess, from his family that he has made threats to kill people while he was in court. Savannah then also talks him up and says Jake, while he was in jail, has his AA, associate's degree. He has some college credits. And she says that they wrote a letter to the governor before this time, tried to get his sentence reduced, and it was denied. My theory is that the governor denied it because they looked at his file and was like, oh, this dude has other things going on. We are not reducing his sentence. Because if you think about Jake's story, right? Jake got, oh my gosh, he's been in jail for 12 years right now, and he still has 5 years left. So that means he has 17 years. I think he was sentenced to like 30-something years or something like that. And I don't believe he's going to serve the whole time because he said he has 5 years left, but you never know. But his the reason he's in jail is because he robbed the weed man. He robbed a drug dealer. How in the world? There has to be something else that happened with him. He has to have been in trouble several times before. Something has had to go down, because ain't no way you won't get 30-something years for robbing the weed man, the drug dealer. Like, weed isn't even legal in every state, and they put you away for that. I just am confused. Something ain't right about his sentencing. And Savannah, if she had any sense, she would try to get to the bottom of it with his family. So the lawyer goes and where am I at? Yeah, so the governor rejected the first letter. The lawyer says you need to find out from the family why the governor rejected it. It has to be other things going on. The lawyer also told Savannah asked the lawyer, she said, if we got married, do you think that would look good? You know, basically trying to build a resume of good things about him. And the lawyer said it wouldn't hurt for you all to get married. That could be something that would look good. However, he did not say that getting married would definitely guarantee that he would get out earlier. But all Savannah heard from that lawyer was, if y'all get married, that would be a good thing. And she was just like, you know, real excited about that. So she's riding in the car, right? So she's going over to Waterloo. I don't know where that is. Maybe that's where they're from. Waterloo. And apparently when she gets to Waterloo, I think she's gonna, maybe next episode, she's gonna see the family or whatever. And Jake is strongly against her seeing the family. I think he's against it because, one, the mom don't mess with her like that. And then on top of that, the family is going to definitely reveal, I guess, some things about him that she didn't know. I don't know. So she gets on the phone with Jake. Jake calls her while she's in the car, and she tells Jake, he says, how to go with the lawyer. She tells Jake that, oh my gosh, I have like good news. Like the lawyer said, if we get married, and then that will reduce your sentence. Because Jake asked her, he said, well, what happened? She said, well, the gist of it is that we should just get married and that will reduce your sentence and blah, blah, blah. Jake was just like, you know what? Listen, I don't want to start this conversation with talking about getting married. I done told you before that I don't want to marry you. I don't want to get married. And she cannot get it through her thick skull. Why do you keep on stressing this man out about getting married when he already said he doesn't want to marry you? It's so ridiculous. Jake says, you know what you need to do? Since my family ain't messing with you like that, this is what you need to do. You need to sit down with my homeboy, Tim. Tim is like family. Tim will help you with the letter and everything that you need. He knows about me. So sit down with Tim, get with him. And that is how it would be. I think she's at Waterloo checking into her hotel because she said she's tired. And while she's in Waterloo, I guess she's going to meet with his friend Tim. And we'll see how that goes. Next couple up is Jade and Chris. Another couple that is going to irritate me. Jade and Chris, Jade and Jess are at a hotel. They're preparing to see Chris's family. Chris calls on the phone, of course, and Jess talks to Chris over the phone. She's like, let's try to mend things before I come visit you so that we can have a good visit and things of that nature. Chris is like, okay, well, actions speak louder than words. We'll see if we can mend the situation. If you, what you're trying to do is what you actually mean when I see you in person. Then Jade and Jess, they go to meet Chris's family. But another mom, Chris's mom, don't mess with Jade like that because Chris' mom, number one, this is her only child. And it's a son. Now, she may be one of them boy moms that's so overprotective of their son that no woman is good enough. But at the same time, a good point was made. The mom is just like, look, she done dealt with girlfriends in the past of Chris. Chris said this, that she dealt with girlfriends in the past that were only after him for the money because, as you all know, the family owns a casino and Chris gets a portion of money from that casino. So the mom is looking at Jay like, you could be another one of them gold diggers, okay? You could not really be here for my son like that, and I don't mess with you until you show me otherwise. So Jay and Jess went and met two of his family members. One of them was his sister. And they're preparing, I guess, for what's called a powwow in the Native American community. And if y'all know more information about that, I'm going to look it up myself, but y'all can drop it in the comments. And they're preparing for this powwow, which is a day, I guess, of celebration where the inmate gets to spend the whole day with the family. So she's meeting with two of the family members in a park before the powwow, I guess, because the powwow would obviously mean more of the family. But she's meeting with two of the family members. One of the family members was his sister, and her name is Tracy. Hold up, let me make sure. Yes, her name is Tracy, and the way they spelled Tracy, I was just like, that is so ghetto. I think it was like TRE-CEE or TREE-CEE, whatever it was. I had never seen Tracy spelled like that. And I don't know if that's maybe a cultural thing with them. I don't get it, but it just looked really, really ghetto. Tracy says that her fiance himself is in jail. I don't know what's up with these women liking these jail men. But she says so she understands how Jade feels. She also says that the family would accept Jade more if she came around more often to show them that she is genuine and here for Chris. Let's see. They're sitting down at the picnic table. They're having like lunch and drinks or whatever, and they're just having a powwow. And Tracy says the social media thing that Jade is into is the thing that is really kind of making the mom and some of the other family members not really see it for her, because Tracy says they are a very private family and they do not like all the glitz and glance of social media. However, if that's the case, Tracy, why are you sitting here with cameras in your face, and why is Chris with cameras in his face signing up for this? I ain't seen none of the other family members yet, but y'all know that this show is a nationally syndicated show and it's all over, and you already know your face is going to be out there. You can Google Jade and Chris and you will pop up with an image of them or whatever of them. So if you don't like the glitz and glam, why in the world did y'all even agree to be shown? I would have been like, you know what, Chris, if you want to do the show, that's fine, but none of the family going to be on there because we don't like all that. So I believe that that is partly true, but partly not true. I told y'all maybe last review or the review before that when they did like a little cutaway with Jade and she was showing her followers everything that Chris had given her. And I was like, why is she doing that? That is a bad idea. And fast forward to this week, the sister brought that up. You're too flashy, the social media, and they cut away to Jay showing some flowers, and she was telling how much they cost and the whole nine. One, I don't think you should be telling nobody how much your man is giving you, especially if he's an inmate, because that could damage him in there. Number two, you just should not be doing that. Somebody could come and rob you or whatever because you showing them how much stuff costs, what you got, the whole nine. So yeah, I agree with the social media presence to a certain extent. But at the same time, if that's who she is, that's who she is. That's how she makes her money. That's how she make her money. If y'all don't want to be bothered with it, y'all should just excommunicate yourself from her and just say, we don't want to be on this show, and let them be on the show if that's the case. But we shall see. But another mom that don't mess with the daughter. Or yeah, because she's married to him. So another mom that don't mess with the daughter, that's crazy. So the last couple we have, y'all, is Renika and Asanta. Oh gosh, talking about them is going to upset me a little bit probably, because Renika does not give a crap about her family or her children. We're going to get into it. First of all, y'all, this is episode number 4. And Renika still has that ugly green and what is it, blonde wig with them daggone, they're not even baby hairs no more. They're freaking adult hairs. Them things is down to here. Like, baby, these are baby hairs. Baby hairs is back here. These are baby hairs. Her daggone hairs are down almost in her freaking eye. I'm over this wig. I pray, Lord, please, please, please let Renika have a different wig on by at least episode 6, y'all, because this thing is taking me out. But anyway, she is talking to Shakola. It opens up. I guess she's going to go say her farewells because she's about to get to the airport to go to Atlanta. So Shakola's in her bed and Shakola is laying there because it is the day after the night before that Renika had her going away party, that she did her rap and that whole little thing happened. But that happened last week on the episode. So Shakola's in her bed and she's laying there and she's just like, why? I don't agree. I still don't agree. I'm not happy with the way things went last night. She was like, I was feeling myself. I did drink a little bit too much, but I'm still not happy with your decision. But finally, Shakola says, you know what? I apologize for my actions. She was just like, she apologizes and she hopes that the future is bright. She hopes that this dude ain't running game. She hopes that that it really is going to be great for her. And she says, and Shakola also says, but you still chasing the D. And she was like, no, I'm not, blah, blah, blah. But I think that's how Shakola really feels on the inside. She's like, you chasing the D, okay? Because she just said it so many times. Then Renika goes to her mother's house. Her mother is saying a farewell to her and the grandbabies. And I'm going to say this. The 15-year-old girl, I'm going to break them apart. The 15-year-old girl seems to be built like Renika a little bit. She's a little bit more thicker than her. But the 15-year-old girl had her boobs out in this little suit, sweatsuit that she had on, which I think was inappropriate for her breasts to be pushed up and out like that. And then the 13-year-old, she's a little bigger. And she had a sweatsuit on that was similar, but it seemed like it was a little smaller. Like her stomach was hanging out a little bit. And I'm just kind of like, what is going on here? The thing is that them kids do not want to go. They don't want to go. Her mom is just like, why don't you just leave the kids here and you can go there and settle in and leave my granddaughters here. Renika is like, no, we're going. Nothing nobody says is going to change Renika's mind, so they might as well stop trying. But the saddest thing ever was like the 13-year-old was just, and the 15-year-old, they was like, we don't want to go. We don't want to go. Like, this is horrible. We don't want to go. But Renika's like, I'm the mom. And of course, kids can't choose their parents or tell their parents what to do. So they had to ride out with Renika. And I felt like that was messed up. The 13-year-old seemed sad. Like, she just seemed really sad because if you think about it, they're being taken from Louisville, Kentucky. That's where they're from. Their friends are there. Their life is there. Their family is there. And they're moving to Atlanta, this new foreign place. And not only that, they're moving in. Their mom is moving this guy in that they have never met. They don't even know. They don't know nothing about him. And it's really messed up. And when they get to Atlanta, and I'm going to tell you, I live here in Georgia. I'm not that far from Atlanta. And I've been here now for about 6 years. And I'm going to tell you something. Atlanta's school system, the youth here in Atlanta are going to eat them girls up. I'm telling you. The bigger one, they're probably going to make fun of her because she seems a little shy or like something's a little up with her. And then the skinnier one, they're probably going to try to run. Guys are going to try to run through her. And I'm hoping this does not happen, right? I'm hoping that they do end up having a successful journey here in Atlanta. But I'm just telling you from my observation what it is here with the younger people here. I think that the thinner one, the older child, that she is going to end up get ran through by some guys. I'm sorry to say that. Like, she seems like that she's going to be searching for something, and she's going to get caught up with a couple of guys. And Renika needs to keep her eye on both of them because they are at very, very influential ages. They're at ages where they're maturing, where their hormones are jumping. Like, she needs to put all of her energy into these girls, not into this dude, man. I don't get it. She asks the girls on the ride to the airport, are y'all excited? The 15-year-old was like, no, not excited, not really. The other one, the 13-year-old was just like, whatever it is, what it is at this point. They get into this rental home. They get to Atlanta and they are in basically an Airbnb because it's already furnished. And the 13-year-old says that they're in her room. The 13-year-old says, I don't want this dude in here. She literally tells her mom, I don't want this dude in here. I don't know him. I don't like him. I don't want him in here. I don't even know anything about him. They're literally telling their mom, we don't want this dude in here. And Renika is just like, well, y'all gonna get to know him. Everything's gonna be okay. She is ignoring her children for the D. Shakola already told us, for the D. She's ignoring the children. And I don't get it. Furthermore, she didn't even have enough sense, right, to move there a little earlier so that the girls can get settled and used to Atlanta a little bit before they had to start school. Because school starts the very next day. So not only did they just uproot and leave where they're from and all their family, right? Your tail got these girls in this Airbnb, right, on top of that. And then they have to turn around and start a new school where they don't know anybody. Like, all of that coming at them like that cannot be good for them. I'm just praying for them girls because Renika, girl, you gotta get your life together. She has a friend in Atlanta named Ray. Ray comes over the Airbnb, brings her a couple of things, and starts talking to Renika. Ray says she has doubts about Asante. He probably got other women. And Renika is just like, well, you know, I don't believe he does. And Ray is like, okay, well, let's pull up his IG. So they pull up his IG and all these girls are posting under his picture and things like that. One girl even had the nerve to put her phone number, and Renika is like, oh, who is this B? And so Ray is hyping her up as the ghetto hype man, talking about, oh, okay, well, let's call Asante and see. The fact that they could just FaceTime him, like, they just FaceTime him on his iPhone. I'm just trying to figure out what kind of jail is this? Like, and then they're broadcasting the fact that they have contraband, which I've heard you're not supposed to have phones in prison. They're broadcasting it on this show, right? So they call Asante. And Asante was just like, Renika was just like, who is this B? She holds the phone up, shows the girl to put her phone number under the picture, and Asante's like, what B? I was just like, boy, deny, and deflect, and act like you do not know. But for real, these phones in this jail is unreal. Like, Chris has one, and Asante has one. I don't think nobody else has one. But the last time I checked, or what I know of prison or of jail, you are not supposed to have cell phones in there. And then we find out next week, something is going to happen with Asante's release or something. I don't know what's going on, but Renika gets kind of mad about that. They probably saw Love during lockup and saw that contraband and was like, oh, okay, we're going to add some more time because you ain't supposed to have that phone. But we don't know. But y'all, that was the last couple. We did not have anything from Brittany and Keyrock's this episode. We only had those couples. I'm telling you right now, Renika, and I'm going to say this as a mom, I don't know if she ever going to come across this page, but I'm going to have a moment with her. Renika, you need to focus on those girls. Having a daughter is the most beautiful thing, right? Having a child, period, is the most beautiful thing. But when your daughters get to a certain age, the world is waiting for them to prey on them and jump on them. Their hormones are jumping, their bodies are changing, and these girls are developed girls, okay? They are in Georgia. They are in Atlanta, in a new area. They're probably going to have an accent. They're probably going to dress a little different. People are going to try these girls. They are going to have a time in this new area. You need to focus on these girls. You do not need to move Asante into your house. If he is from Atlanta, where is his family? Why do you need to move him in? It's one thing that you move there, but why do you need to move him in? These girls have never visited him. These girls have never been around him. They don't know him. They are not excited about him coming. They don't want him there. And again, they are teenage developed girls. I ain't saying Asante going to do anything, but you just don't know. Why would you put your daughters in that type of dangerous situation? Like, what is wrong with you? Like, I don't understand that. This is not a good idea. You should not be doing it. And not only that, you've never even been around this guy in the free world. You've never even seen him in the free world. All you have seen him on is video chat. This dude gave you a bunch of prison talk for what, 13 months? I don't even know how long they've been together. It's been probably a year at best. And now all of a sudden he has said something so good to you that makes you want to uproot your life in Kentucky, where you have stability, where you have your family, where you have business going. Like, you got vending machines there. You had a whole life that was thriving according to your story. And you're uprooting everything to move to Georgia to be with a man that you don't even know if this is going to be successful. Renika, I'm not saying you can't live your life. I'm not saying you can't even date inmate, but do it in a properly smart way. And this way is dumb. Dumb. I agree with your family. You should have left them girls there. And if you want to go figure out what it was with Asante, then you should have went. And then if it worked out well, then you send for the girls, okay? Or you let them visit and then you send for them or something or something. I don't know, but you need to really, really, really get yourself together. Not only are the girls starting school, I forgot to tell y'all this, the girls are going to be staying with Ray while Renika goes pick up Asante, and they probably spend a night together or have 2 days together or whatever. So it's almost like you're just throwing so much at these girls at one time, y'all. And I just can't. I just can't. You need to focus, Renika, for real. Get yourself together. Stop chasing the D, okay? I understand how it feels to be a woman and be alone and want companionship and all of that. But, baby, you got to do it in the right way. It just ain't you in this world. You got children in this world, okay? So get yourself together, girl. Come on. You're a mom. Be a mom. Like, stop. You got to make better decisions for real. And you cannot sit up here and just say, oh, they'll get over it or they'll get used to it or whatever. These type of situations can cause trauma, can cause these girls to go into possibly drugs, possibly sleeping around, possibly pregnancy, whatever. All of these things because you're neglecting them for this man that you don't even know. And I don't want none of that to happen, but I'm just saying these are possibilities that could come along, Renika. So please, girl, get yourself together. Go back to Kentucky. And they have already shot this a year in advance. So I don't know what has happened with them or with any of these couples, but I'm just seeing it in real time. And I'm just giving you advice. Get your butt back to Kentucky with your family. Get them girls back to their stability. And you let Asante deal with himself. At least let him stay in Georgia where he's from and prove himself to you before you get in a relationship with him. And I don't get it, especially when these women have children. Come on now. Come on, do better, okay? And y'all, that is my review of Love During Lockup. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for rocking with me. Thank you for clicking. Thank you for watching the video if you got to this point. Thank you for the thumbs up, and I'm speaking stuff into existence. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the subscribes, y'all. Thank y'all to all of the 75 subscribers I have so far. I'm not ashamed to say it. Do not despise small beginnings because, baby, before you know it, I'm going to be pew. So get on the ship, get on board now while you still can, while it's still fresh. And you can say, I was in the beginning. I remember her videos in the beginning and all of that great stuff, y'all. So go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see y'all next week for episode number 5. And hopefully it's a longer review next week because this week nothing really happened great. But I gave y'all what I had, and that's what I have. So y'all, I love y'all to pieces until we meet again, which will be next week for Love During Lockup. I love y'all. Bye.